Have you ever felt like you're in a constant battle with yourself? Like, you know exactly what you should do, but for some reason, you just end up doing the complete opposite? Well, today we're diving into a really powerful idea from Jonathan Haidt's The Happiness Hypothesis that explains exactly what's going on inside our heads.
So why does this happen? Seriously, you can lay out the most perfect, logical plan. You're going to eat healthy, you're going to save money, you're going to finally start that project. And then, just a few hours later, you find yourself on the couch doing the exact thing you promised you wouldn't. Well, that internal tug-of-war, that's the very puzzle we're going to unpack today.
And the reason for this constant conflict, at least according to Haidt, is that our mind isn't one single, unified thing. Nope, it's actually fundamentally divided.
And, this isn't some brand new idea. Thinkers have been wrestling with this for ages, all the way back to Plato. The core insight is that our mind is really split into two distinct parts that are often pulling in opposite directions. You've got the rational, logical part, and then you've got the emotional, almost automatic part. Now, to make this idea really stick, Haidt gives us this absolutely brilliant and unforgettable metaphor. I want you to meet the rider and the elephant. The rider, that's our rational mind. It's the conscious planner, the part of you that sets goals and thinks about the future. But the elephant, the elephant, is our emotional, intuitive self. It's a 6-ton powerhouse of gut feelings, instincts, and desires. Now, the rider might be holding the reins, trying to steer, but let's be honest, if that 6-ton elephant decides it wants to go somewhere else, the rider is pretty much just along for the ride.
And here's the real kicker. Happiness isn't about the rider winning some brutal fight and forcing the elephant into submission. You just can't will yourself to feel differently. True lasting happiness comes when the rider and the elephant learn to cooperate, when they start working together in harmony.
So that leads us to the most important question of all, right? If the rider is so tiny and the elephant is so massive and powerful, how can we possibly guide it toward a better, happier life?
Well, this is where the theory gets super practical. See, the rider can't use brute force, but it can be smart. It's all about shaping the path to make the good choices the easy choices. So, for example, if you want your elephant to eat healthier, don't just rely on willpower. That's exhausting. Instead, get the junk food out of the house. You're making the path to the apple easier than the path to the chips. It's all about directing the elephant's attention toward things that genuinely satisfy its needs, like meaningful connections and moments of real wonder.
This whole dynamic between our rational rider and our emotional elephant, it plays out everywhere. But you see it so clearly when it comes to the experience of love.
Haidt basically breaks love down into two types. First, you've got passionate love. That's the elephant completely taking over. It's that intoxicating, obsessive, can't eat, can't sleep feeling. It's an incredible high, for sure, but it's designed to be temporary. And then there's companionate love. This is that deep, steady bond that grows over time as the rider and the elephant learn to walk the path together. It's the calm, lasting joy of a real, strong connection.
All right, so let's tie this all together. What are the big takeaways here for creating a smoother, happier journey with your inner elephant, instead of fighting against it?
Okay, first things first. The writer's main job is to be a good storyteller. Look, it can't always control what happens to you, but it can control the story it tells the elephant about what's happening. If you can frame a setback as a learning opportunity instead of a total catastrophe, you help keep the elephant calm and moving forward. And another huge thing, the rider absolutely has to respect the elephant's nature. And our emotional self is profoundly social. It needs connection to thrive. So one of the smartest things the rider can possibly do is gently steer the elephant towards supportive, positive people.
And finally, maybe the biggest lesson in all of this is patience. The rider can't just flip a switch and make the elephant happy. Happiness isn't some destination you finally arrive at. It's more like a state that just emerges when you get the conditions right, when the path is clear, when the company is good, and when the rider and elephant are finally in sync.
It's not about finding some secret or forcing an outcome. It's really about patiently creating the right conditions day by day so that a good life can just naturally unfold.
So I'll leave you with a question to think about. What's one small, simple thing you could do, literally today, to build just a little bit more trust and harmony between your own rider and your elephant?